Okay, so today I am changing the oil on my lawnmower. This is a commercial walk-behind type of lawnmower, but a small engine is a small engine. So most have some place to drain the oil. So on this one, this happens to be a Kawasaki engine on this, so I use a 13 millimeter wrench to open the drain plug by turning in a counterclockwise direction. Once it's loose, I'll finish this off by hand. So what you don't see is underneath here I have the drain pan, and then above here there's a hole for the oil to drain out. So it just starts draining like that. We're going to let that sit for a little while and then I'll finish this off. In order to make it easier to drain everything out, what I've done is placed a couple boards underneath the side of the machine that's opposite of the drain plug. To get it up there too, I just used my floor jack to kind of jack it up and then place those boards underneath it, so you can see that the right side now sits lower than the left side. On this side of the machine here we have the oil filter, so this is relatively easy to gain access to, and we just spin it off. Now it is probably going to make a mess here, so it's a good idea to have a rag ready to soak up everything that spills out of there. So on a small engine like this, I'm not going to lie, it's a little difficult to get to not make a mess. So we're just going to soak up all that old oil there and get ready to put the new one on. So whenever you change an oil filter, whether it's on a small engine or a car, you want to make sure that this little rubber gasket that seals it is attached to the filter. Sometimes when you're taking off the old filter, what'll happen is the gasket will get ripped off and it stays stuck over here where we put the filter back on the machine. You definitely don't want two of those gaskets because it will cause leaks. Something else to help avoid some leaks is if you take a little bit of oil, put it on your finger, clean oil, and seal and run a little bit right around that gasket. So now we can just spin the new filter right back in place here. Another good thing to check. Now I knew what size filter I needed because I've had this machine for quite some time, but you always want to double check the numbers against your owner's manual. So we want this, again, like the plug, snug but not too tight. So just hand tight. So a few things to note here. Not all small engines are going to have an oil filter on them. It honestly all depends. If it's a little bit larger, like this one, it will most likely have an oil filter. So on this machine, the oil is filled right where the dipstick goes. I've already removed the dipstick, and I placed a funnel in there. Make it easier to be able to pour the oil in. So take your time with this. Double check your owner's manual, see how much is supposed to be in there, And then, of course, always, always, always check to see that the drain plug is in before you start pouring oil in, or you're going to make a giant mess. And then also, before you start firing up the machine, make sure you check the oil with the dipstick.